Morning, Camino. It's Pastor Bruce. Was reading an article on geology, and this is I'll just kind of read a paragraph of it for you. But the title goes something like this. The subline says, "Geology is inherently a three-dimensional science. It's not just about what is at the surface, but what is beneath the surface as well." The article goes on, and here's what it says. While Yellowstone's hydrothermal pools provide insight into the chemical processes happening deep beneath the surface, they don't allow us direct access to the subsurface. As a result, we only have a two-dimensional view of the system. We can measure the pool's surface temperature, chemistry, and even their exotic biology, but we have no knowledge of the other parts of the equation. Like the water plumbing system and the properties of the hydrothermally altered host rocks. You know, some of it plus the rest of it equals all of it. But from surface observations, we only know part of it. To see the rest of it, we have to look deeper. This coming Sunday, we're looking at a passage I've titled the message, Looking Beneath the Surface. And we're looking at this idea that as we have these relationships, as we interact with people, there's always something more. It's not just what you see on the surface. It's not the whole picture, right? You need that three-dimensional understanding of what's really going on if you're really going to be able to connect with people. You need to see what's below the surface. In John chapter 7, Jesus is having another one of those conversations. And he had previously, in the previous chapters, he had healed the man at the pool of Bethesda. And it was on the Sabbath when he did that. And of course, the religious leaders had a fit that he did that on the Sabbath. And so later on in John chapter 7, he's comes into the city and he's teaching in the temple, and they confront him on this. And Jesus says, you know, you're really not looking at the whole picture. You're missing it. You're just looking at the surface level stuff. He says, you don't have a problem circumcising a boy who's has the period, the time, right? He has to show up at a certain day and be circumcised by so many days. If that day falls on the Sabbath, he says, you don't even hesitate. You circumcise him on the Sabbath. You perform work on the Sabbath. And then Jesus says to them, why do you have a problem with me if I heal someone's whole body on the Sabbath? Verse 24, John 7:24, he says to them, stop judging by mere appearances, but instead judge correctly. The NLT translates that opening phrase. Look beneath the surface and judge correctly. We need to be able to look beneath the surface. We need to be able to see the big picture. And if we're really going to do that, we have to connect with people, get in a conversation with people, understand them three-dimensionally, not just what you can see on the outside, not just what presents itself, but what is going on deep on the inside. If you really want to know, if you really want to help people, if you really want to introduce them to Christ who can change their lives, you're going to have to look a little deeper. You're going to have to look beneath the surface. See you soon, church.